what happens when a transversal, which is this diagonal line that you're looking at, cuts two parallel lines. So let me just make it a little bit narrow, 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 put a narrow at the end. So now, how do we know these two lines are parallel? Because you would see a symbol like this, right? Narrow right there, and a narrow here. And that tells you that those two lines are parallel. So when that happens, it creates a special relationship between the angles that are formed. So you see that there's four angles in the top angle. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5, 6, 7, 8 at the bottom. Notice that in class today, I told you, hey, what happens? What could happen if I took a scissor, cut it right here? I could move the bottom half to the top, and it would be exactly on top of each other, right? So based on that, we mentioned that we could say, sorry, my pen's not working, okay, that we could say, so if I cut that, let me see if I can do that. Actually, you know what, let me take a moment here. Yeah, let me see if I can take a picture. Let me bring it over here. Oh no, it disappeared. Hang on a second, sorry. Let me take a picture of this. Move, bring this over here. Make a paper. So imagine this. Imagine if I took a scissor. Right, let's see if I can cut this right down. Right there. Let me just make it the same size. There we go. Imagine I took a scissor, right? Cut it right here in the middle. Right here. Took a scissor, cut it right here. And then I would bring this to the top. Notice that it would fit exactly on top of the four angles that are existing already there. The 1, 2, 3, angle 1, 2, and 3, and 4. I could put angle 5, 6, 7, and 8 exactly. So 5 would be on top of 1, 6 would be on top of 2, 7 would be on top of 3, and 8. And they're exactly the same angles. All right. Now, let me take a step back, and we also mentioned something. What happens when you have two intersecting lines like this? So we have an angle here, right? And remember, when I took that scissor and I cut it, so let's pretend I cut this guy here, this angle. I could take that, and guess what? I can put it right on top of this bottom angle. So this top here and this bottom are congruent to each other. Likewise, I could have gone the other way and say, hey, this angle here, use two lines, is equal to this angle on the other side. Okay, to show that, I'll use two lines for those two, and the up and down angles, I'll use one line. So when two lines intersect like that, when any two lines cross, we create four angles where opposite angles are the same. So I'm making this up. Let's say this was 130 degrees. This fella here would be 130 degrees. Well, how do we find this angle here? Well, remember, look at the straight line. What do we know about straight line? A straight line, the whole angle is 180. So imagine you know that's 180. I came and cut the 180 into two parts, and I told you this guy here measures 130. So what's the other part? What's the measurement of the other part? Well, if the whole thing was 180 and one part's 130, obviously the other part here, the other angle would be 50. So I can come back here and put a 50. And if I know this is 50, guess what? The opposite angle on the other side is 50. Yes, it's that easy. So going back to this, let me make a number here. Let's say this was 75 degrees. Going by what I just mentioned here, the vertical angles, so if angle 2 is 75, the one right across it on the other side is also 75. But you also know that when I took the scissor, right, and I took angle 5, 6, 7, 8 and put it right on top of angle 1, 2, 3, and 4, what does that mean? It means that angle 5, this angle right here, angle 5, and angle 1 occupy the same spot. So whatever angle 1 is, angle 5 is. So actually, let me do something. Let me find out what angle 1 is. Well, if angle 2 is 75, this guy here is is 180, right? Angle 1 plus 2 is 180. So that would make angle 1, 105. Which, by the way, makes angle 4, 105 as well. Now I have all the parts that I need, knowing that angle 5, 6, 7, 8 is exact replica of 1, 2, 3, and 4. I can just come here to 5 and say, yeah, you are 105. Angle 8, you're 105 as well. And angle 6, you're 75. And angle 7, you're 75. The exact replica on the top. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much what we talked about. So let's see if that helps us. Now this here is just rotated, I guess. Right? So if you want to just tilt your head or flip the paper over, help yourself. So now these guys have names. Certain angles here have names. 9 and 16. So let me take a look at 9, 16. So actually, let me use this one on top because I think it's easier for you to. Let's talk about interior and exterior angles. So think about interior as these guys here. The 3, 3, sorry, angle 3, angle 6, angle 5, angle 4. Think of these angles as inside, trapped between the two parallel lines. And the exterior angles are 1, 2, 7, 8. They're outside the parallel angles. Right? So parallel angles, parallel lines. Okay, so think about that. So that can help you. So 3, 4, 5, 6 are alternate interior, are the alternate interior angles. But to be more precise, 3 and 6 are alternate interior, and then 5 and 4 are the alternate interior. So 3 and 6 have the same measurement, are congruent, they have the same degree measurement, and 4 and 5 also have the same degree measurement. So they're called my alternate interior angles. B, corresponding angles. Corresponding just means same spot, right, in the same location. So again, going back to me cutting this, right? So me cutting this with a scissor right here, right, the bottom 4 angles, and putting it on top, right, because they're exactly the same. So who is exactly the same? Well, angle 5 and angle 1 both are corresponding angles because they're both in, if you think about it, on the top left-hand corner. Angle 3 and angle 7 are corresponding because they both equal. Well, they're equal to each other, but they're both, what I meant to say was, at the bottom left-hand side. They both occupy that space. And again, right? Angle 6 corresponds to who? To angle 2. And angle 8 corresponds to 4. Same exact location. So going back, right? So those are corresponding. So corresponding here would be 1 and 5, 3 and 7, 2 and 6, 4 and 8. Alternate exterior, well, the outside angles, outside the two parallel lines is 1, 2, 7, 8, but alternate, so it'd be 1 is 8, and the other alternate angles would be 2 and 7. Okay? Vertical angles, well, vertical angles are these, right? When two lines intersect, they create 4 angles. This guy and this guy are the same, and this angle is congruent to that angle. Okay, so vertical. So we have 4 pairs of vertical angles. We have 1 and 4 are vertical angles, 2 and 3 are vertical angles, and the bottom 5 and 8 are vertical angles, and 7 and 6 are vertical angles. Supplementary. I didn't talk much about supplementary, but what are supplementary angles? 2 angles. Here's a straight line. This is 180. Let me make this angle over here. Let's make it 60. Let's make it 82 degrees. No, sorry. I'll make it 78 degrees, which makes this angle 102. How do I know they're 100? Why is that 102? Because their combined sum should be 180. So 102 plus 78 should equal to 180 degrees. So supplementary angles are 2 angles that added up equal to 180. So using this example, let me put some numbers up here. So if we make angle 2 78 degrees, this would be 102. Angle 3 would be 78 because it's vertical with angle 2. Angle 4 would be 102 because the vertical is angle 1. What would be 5? Well, 1 and 5 occupy the same spot, right? Angle 1 and angle 5 are the top left-hand corner, and they're called corresponding. So corresponding angles also have the same value. Angle 7 and angle 3 are also corresponding. Angle 6 is corresponding with angle 2, and angle 4 is corresponding to angle 8, which is 102. So now that I have all these numbers, can I answer which two are supplementary? Any two angles that add up to 180. Well, it could be angle 1 and 2, angle 1 and 3, angle 2 and 4, angle 5 and 6, angle 6 and 8, angle 7 and 8, angle 5 and 8. So all those pairs add up to 180. So that's what supplementary is asking me. Okay, so I know I made this problem much longer than it should be. So 9 and 16. Here's 9, here's 16. They're not between the parallel lines on the outside, and they are across from each other. So that makes these two alternate exterior. C. Number 2, 15 and 11. Let me find them. Here's 15, and here is 11. They're adjacent to each other. So think about this. This is a straight line. That's 180, and these two are right next to each other. So the sum of those two would make these two 180. So they are not corresponding. Sorry, supplementary. Supplementary. So 15 and 11, which is right here. 3, 10 and 15. Let me circle 10. Let me circle 15. Where are these two angles? They're between the parallel lines, so they're the interior angles, and they're diagonal from each other. Yes. So this would be the alternate interior, and whatever they measure the same. 9 and 11. So 9 occupies the left-hand corner, the top left-hand corner. 11 occupies the top left-hand corner. So they're the same spot, right? I mean, imagine I cut this with a scissor. 9 and 11 occupy the same exact spot, so they make it corresponding, which means they also have the same value. So 9 and 15. 9 and 15. 9 and 15. They really don't have any names, right? They don't have a name for those two. There's no special. They're not corresponding. They're not alternate exterior. They're not alternate exterior. Could they be supplementary? If I add 9 and 15 together, would they be supplementary? So adding 9 and 15 would be like adding angle 2 and angle 5. 9 and 15 probably are supplementary. Take it back. The sum of those two angles equals 180. 13 and 14. 13 and 14 also supplementary because this angle here is 180. We cut them in two parts into angle 13 and 14, so therefore supplementary. Where's supplementary? 9. I think we let's do this. So this is easy. So angle 97. Clear objects. Angle 97. Angle 2 is 97. So knowing one angle. So if this is 97 degrees, guess what? I can find out what angle 1 is. So if I do 180 minus 97, 10 minus 7 is 3, 17 minus 9 is 8. So that makes angle 1 83. And if I have that, I can fill the rest. Look, 97, which makes this 97 because they're vertical. 83, this would be 83 because they're vertical angles. And then if I know the top 4, guess what? I know the bottom 4. It's the exact same thing. 97 degrees, 83 degrees, 97 degrees, and 83 degrees. Look how easy that was. On the other side, they're saying that angle 6 is 83. So angle 6 is 83. So this is even worse. The same thing as the other side, except on the opposite side. So this is 83, this is 97, which means angle 8 is 97, angle 7 is 83. And I repeat the same thing for the bottom. 97, 83, 97, 83. Not much of anything there. Then I asked you to do these ones. Hopefully you remember this from last year, the year before. This is a 90-degree angle, right? So I mean, this was a 90-degree angle. And I cut the 90-degree angle into two parts. One is 55 and the other one, well, the other one would be 90 minus 55, right? Which makes x 35. And if I add 55 plus 35, do I get 90? I do. This one, I assumed actually that they were complementary. They should have something. They should have had something like this to indicate there was a 90-degree angle. I'm going to assume they are. So 9-degree angle, if one part is 47, the other part is going to be 43, right? Because 43 plus 47 is 90. This one, these are supplementary angles. If they're supplementary, I know that these two angles added up equals to 180. So if one part is 67, well, 180 minus 67 makes the other one 113. Same thing here. Angle B and plus 122, so angle B plus 122 is 180. So I can just simply do 180 minus 122. 7 minus 2 is 5, so which makes this guy 58 degrees. Alright, so just a little extra practice on on the angles formed by transversals. So knowing one angle, if that's 140, guys, let's fill in everything that's 140. That's 140. I can go back to the bottom four angles and I can tell you this is 140 and this is 140. Now, if that's 140, what is the other missing angle? Well, we can just subtract 140 from 180 and we get that this is 40. 140, sorry, 40, and which means the other side here would be 40. So the other missing angle is 40. And if you add any two, right, any two adjacent angles, 40 plus 140 is 180, 140 plus 40 is 180. So they all add up 180. This one, number 2, that is 50. Guess what? This is 50. Let's finish the four angles at the bottom. That's 50. Its supplement would be 130. And then it's the vertical, the opposite side would also be 30. The top four, exactly the same exact thing. I think you had a little bit more at the bottom. Okay, and seriously? Right. So let's do that's 92. It makes this guy 92. So let me go to the bottom. Repeat, write that down, 92. How do I find the missing one? Well, you do 180 minus 92. 10 minus 8 is 18. 17 minus 9 is 8, so 88. So which makes this guy 88, this guy 88, and out the other, it makes everybody 88 and 80. Same exact numbers. Four angles are the same, and the other four angles are the same. Here, that's 78, guess what? Take one across from it is 78, which makes the corresponding angles at the bottom, this is also 78. So how do we find the missing angle? Well, it's going to be the supplement, right? Because that 78 plus the angle that's missing equals 180, so which makes this guy 102. Oops, I made a mistake here, sorry. Let me erase that and rewrite it again. So this is 78, this is 78, and we said this was 102, and this was 102. So let me repeat the process at the bottom. 102, 78, 102, 78, right? The exact same four numbers. Here, 65, which makes the corresponding on the top 65. If that's 65, the other number, the other angle across mid diagonally, right, is 65. Opposite angle 65, so we know this is 65. So now we're missing the other angle. Well, the other angle would be the supplement of 65. 65 plus this angle has to equal 180, so that would be 115. 115 plus 65 is 180. That's correct. The opposite of this angle is this one, so that's also 115. And then at the bottom, it's the same exact four numbers, 65, 115, 115. Last one. Remember, straight line, which means this guy is 180. So if part of it is 90, what's the other part? 90, right? Because 90 plus 90 is 180. So this one is actually interesting one because every single angle is 90 degrees. Okay, that is that. Okay.